Hello, my friends. I'm still not Jim Nance. I'm not him. The game is called Saturday Legends, and this is demo video number 1. It's sort of an introduction, but it's also a resource for you to consult as you get started with the game, and if you need to come back and get anything clarified. In this video, as I indicate on the description, I give kind of a introduction to all the game parts and an overview as to how the game is structured. In the next video, we will go through the interaction between the offense and the defense and how play from scrimmage is resolved. And in the third video, we will go over special teams and kind of wrap things up a little bit with some other pieces. There are 2 reasons why I'm very excited about this game compared to the other football sims that I've looked at. And the first reason we will be touching on in this video, and in the second reason we'll be touching on in the second video. So we're going to get to all of that. The website is right here. It's SaturdayLegends.com. SaturdayLegends.com. All sorts of teams that I'm not going to be talking about. You get 10 with the introductory game and all of the parts, but there are loads more that you can order. And if you are a subscriber to my channel, and you use this discount code, Kurtberg, Kurtberg, you get 15% off your purchase on your order. You can use it once. I bring the discounts. Kurt Berglund brings the discounts. That's right. You want discounts? You come to this guy. All right. So without further ado, I want to walk you through the basics of the game. Everything leading up to, as I said, that play from scrimmage resolution that is so important to any game. This is your rule book. It's 14 pages, single-sided pages with lots of white space for notes. So this is not a, I don't know, what would you say, a complex game in the sense that you've got an 80-page rule book, both double-sided with no white space that you got to plow through. It's very intuitive. There are, with the game, and you can see that I've already started to use them, score sheets that you must use. Wow. Here we go. Score sheets that you must use, and I'm going to show you how those are used in just a moment. And a heavy-duty, high-quality game board, which brings me to my first reason for excitement about this game. There are team charts for the offense, here we go, for the offense and defense. All right. More about that in the next video. Let's take a closer look at the game board and the playing field, and then I want to talk to you about, oh, and there are 3 dice. We'll take a look at those too. But let's take a closer look right now. The reason why, in my opinion, The reason why so many football sims fail to get the job done is right here. It's timing. Timing. Game timing. If you screw this up, to me, none of the rest of it matters. Your whole game is off and probably not worth playing. But as you can see here, there's 30 seconds for running plays and completed passes inbounds that are not first downs. 20 seconds include first down plays, plays with a penalty, plays with a sack, fumbles recovered by the offensive team. 10-second plays include out-of-bounds plays, incomplete passes, return kickoffs, punts, and turnovers. And no time at all for the extra points and a touchback. Now, this is why, in my opinion, this game works right from the start, because you're going to end up with the right number of plays. If you have a timing system that doesn't work, you're going to either have too many plays and your stats will be off, or you won't have enough plays and your points will be off. This game timing system works very, very well because it's divided into 10-second chunks, and I think they've made excellent decisions about how to break that up. The game itself is triggered by the roll of 3 dice. 1d20, which on the initial roll determines if there's going to be a penalty, but is used later on as well for other purposes. 1d12, which is actually used to determine defense and a defensive outcome, and we'll get more into that in the next video. And this one is a d24, which I had never seen before, but is used to help determine offensive outcome results. All right, so what happens in this game is there are 6 plays per offense and defense. Let's take a look at those right now. The offensive plays are these: your drop back, your rollout, and your screen are your passes. And the running plays are draw, inside run, and outside run. Those are the 6 that you choose from. Now, what happens is every team that is created for this game has their play structure broken down into how many times they ran relative to how many times they threw the ball. We are looking right here at 2019 Louisiana State. So we have 11 runs to 13 passes. And so what you do is you take your score sheet for Louisiana State, 2019 LSU, and you block out everything after the 11th run. All right. Then you do the same thing with the passes, except they'd had 13 passes to 11 runs. So 13, 13, 13. You call what you want to call as a coach, but you can't exceed these numbers for that particular play until they're all used up, and then you start over again. So you got to budget your play calls, and that's going to make your team stats come out something like they should, because your tendencies are going to repeat what they looked like in real life. Of course, there's going to be some room for variance, but for the most part, you're going to come out pretty close to the yards gained on each side, depending upon, of course, the performance of the defense. if you're playing a very tough defensive team, that's going to impact your offensive yardage outcomes. But you're checking off. So let's say you decide to do an outside run. This die determines what you're going to look at. So I rolled an 8. So what I would do here, if I was LSU's coach, is I would cross off the 8, and then I would look under outside run at outside run 8, and I would line it up with whatever defense had been called, and that's going to get the offensive part of the yardage for that play. So for example, suppose that we did outside run 8, and the defense was, oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong team. Louisiana State, outside run 8, and it was, the defense called was also run outside. That would be a 5-yard gain. And then we'd look at the defensive version of the chart and line it up, and then either add or subtract from this 5-yard total, and that would be the outcome of the play. But again, more about that in the next video. These limits on your play calls are going to be very, very important, both to budget accordingly and to pay careful attention to sort of manage your game. If you blow through all your passes in the first half and you're behind at halftime, that's going to be a problem. All right. So these are your 6 play calls. You have 6 defensive play calls. Your defensive anti-run play calls are run outside, run blitz, and run inside. Your anti-pass play calls for the defense are man, zone, and pass blitz. Okay? So, what happens here, you're still using, now I had 2019 LSU playing against 2014 Ohio State. Now, there are no limits on your defensive play calls. What happens is you choose your play call, and then you're rolling your D12 to determine which number on the defensive play chart will be consulted. So to go back to our previous, and we're going to go through this in a lot more detail, but if we did a run outside 8 and we got 5 yards and the defensive call was run outside, we'd come to the Ohio State defense and we'd go run outside. What did I roll? I rolled a 1. We'd go run outside and it's a 1. And the offensive play is, oh, I'm on the wrong side. Here we go. Run outside 1, and the play is run outside, it's -2. So we take the 5 from the Louisiana State offense and the -2 from the Ohio State defense, and we get a positive 3-yard gain. So rolling this 1, you're going to check off outside run because you rolled the 1. This is a 12-sided die. You can go all the way down to 12. And if you roll 1 again, you just bump it up to 2, and that's what you look at on the chart. So these play scratch-off sheets are very, very important, and they're very easy to use. All right, next, your scoreboard. Each box is 10 seconds. So this is your 15th minute, your 14th minute, your 13th minute, your 12th minute, and so on. Now we're going to get into all the particulars of how this works, but if you come back to the, I think, brilliant timing system that exists for this game, all you have to do is to check off the number of boxes that correspond with whatever happened in the play that was just run. That's what's tracked here, and of course you use a coin to mark your downs, and you're all set to go. At the end of the quarter, you put on how many points everybody scored, and you move on to the next column, which is your brand new quarter. All right. As you work through a game, what you'll see is that you've got your Saturday Legends ball marker. You've got your Saturday Legends first down marker. And you're just matriculating down the field based on what happens on your plays. Now, we have not talked about big plays. We have not talked about penalties. We haven't talked about other types of special plays that could happen. And we haven't talked about the special teams. But in this video, you should get a basic sense of what happens for a play call, how those things are tracked on this sheet, and what happens as a result of the offensive play and the defensive play colliding. Now, I said at the start of the video there were two reasons why I think this game is so good. The first one is the timing. The second one that we're going to talk about in our very next video is the coaching. You as a coach have a ton of impact on the game. So, yes, these charts are statistically accurate for both offense and defense. And all the way down to pieces of that team's performance, such as strength of schedule, which bears directly on your coaching decisions, plays a role in how these great college teams face off against each other and who ultimately emerges victorious. But it's your decisions as a college coach beyond play calling for the offense and the defense. There are some critically important strategy decisions that you as a coach can impact in Saturday Legends that other games just don't do. It's a ton of fun. That's my teaser for the next introductory video where we go through plays from scrimmage and how to resolve them. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, if you are a subscriber to my channel, SaturdayLegends.com, SaturdayLegends.com. Then you type in my discount code. Because why? Because Kurt Berglund brings the discounts. It's Kurt Berg, Kurtberg, and that, my friend, just bought you a 15% discount just by subscribing to my channel and just by typing in Kurt Berg. Not only that, the game's a ton of fun. I think you're going to love it. So, coming soon, like 48 hours, video number 2, plays from scrimmage, and you as the coach. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, do that right now. And I will see you very, very soon. So long, everybody.